in Israel, I came across Chavos Halavavos, and it's particularly the chapter Shar Bechina.
Maybe let everyone know who's listening.
Right. So Cholos Halavavos, Duties of the Heart by Rabbi
Ibn Pakuda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a chapter in the book called the Gates of Awareness, which is all about finding Hashem in the world throughout your day, in music, in nature, in human creation, and seeing, and the brachas over the fruits and the apples and all these things. And I found this sefer. I lost it. I actually lost it on a bus, and I went all across Jerusalem to find it, to get to this like corner. Like,
did you get it? Did you find it?
I got it because I was connecting with this book, and I opened it up again this about a week ago, because I've been struggling. I've been struggling because life is hard, and when life is hard, it's so difficult to bring yourself back to learning, to observing in a connected way.
But we have to, Daniel, I can't emphasize this enough, how important it is to be able to become an observant Jew within the real world, so to speak.
Yeah. No,
as amazing as Yeshiva is, it's a bubble,
I'm not wearing, I don't believe I'm wearing yeshiva goggles constantly, where I'm just like, it's not like this. So in the real world, something's off. I knew, and this is one of the difficult things in my final year in yeshiva. I knew I was leaving. I knew I was going back, and I knew all the struggles and all the things that I was dealing with before yeshiva. How to be an artist, and make a living, and find a way to one day build a family. All these big life questions, just raining down. I'm a very dramatic person. I think your audience can tell. This is what happens.
Well, you're an actor. You're an actor, and you're not putting it on. This is who you are.
I struggled so much in my final year because I knew that was what was coming, that I would have to attempt to rebuild, connections and find inspiration while everything was just so difficult. And it's been very difficult, and I've been talking with you about how it's been incredibly difficult. So I made a lot of changes recently. I moved to Borough Park. I'm not suggesting people move to Borough Park, but
no, but you know what you did? Okay, just tell everybody.
Sure.
Where Daniel moved to an area, which is a pretty religious area, where he could be with some other graduates of this school.
Yeah.
And by doing that, it's actually a very, very, we live on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. And I'm not saying this works for everybody, especially if you can afford it. But the reason this community started was so that people could support each other while they're in this transitional stage between singlehood and marriage and trying to live a life of observance, of Torah observance. You did the same thing by going to Borough Park, which is great because there are no Robinson and Crusoes in Judaism, my rabbi used to say. You can't do this yourself.
Yeah.
You're literally setting yourself up for failure, right, if otherwise.
Right. And it's a beautiful community in Borough Park. Just there's been moments of beauty that I'm starting to find those building blocks back, in this machine of a city, in this chaos of a place. I've been trying so hard to find these moments, and like on Shabbos, I was not ready to get to shul on time. I was sleeping, and the Rebbe of this community, who has access to our apartment, he opens my door, and he says, Daniel, come on, Daniel, come on, we're escorting the chassan down to shul, like it's the red carpet. We need you. One of the guys in the
was getting married.
In the house is just had his wedding last night, And I was like, and I was thinking, like, immediately I woke up and I was like, I was woken up by a rabbi who told me to come because we're escorting a groom to shul like it was the red carpet.
Well, can I ask you a question? Is that rabbi available on the west side on Saturday mornings? Because one of the issues, and maybe I can ask you this, how would you help me as a rabbi get my parishioners, the members of the Manhattan Jewish Experience, who fill our pews every week, just to get them there a little earlier? How would you inspire that change?
Yeah, that's very difficult. One.
Do I have to personally go to people's homes? I don't think that's going to really work on the west side. I probably won't even get into the building. I'll be like knocking on the door. It's like they don't all live in doorman building.
Come on, it'd be an inspiring thing you with your talison.
Well, does he have the key, this rabbi?
He has the code.
Okay, so that's the answer. MG ears from now on have to give me access to their homes and their fortunes.
That would be one. Both of those things would be excellent for MJE.
Yeah, the bank account numbers, as long as you're letting me into the house.
Sure.
Can I get some more information?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So I can swipe your card.
Yeah. So just these moments,
Should we talk about the MJ dinner? Because we talked about money.
Yeah.
Nissim Black is coming to perform.
I love Nissim Black.
He's awesome.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
You had him on the podcast. I love his story. I love his passion for Torah. I see he's like Nissim Black is one of the Jews, one of the many Jews that I look to, and I see, this person is connected, this person is inspired, this person is I'm sure every Jew struggles with connection, but to see other Jews,
and he made that choice in his life, that turn.
Sure, but to be around other Jews who you can feel within them connection that you're trying to build within yourself, that's that part of community, that's that aspect of community that's helpful for this, a lot of what we're talking about.